All right, what's going on, guys? This is going to be all about, some different strategies and different things that we have to do to kind of play the game, not necessarily the right way, but play it in a way that, we're going to be at an advantage during the game. So we've already looked at our skills. We've looked at forearm pass, the set, the underhand and overhead serves, and we've also, yesterday, we looked at the spike and the block. Today, we're going to be, again, looking at more strategy-based things. The first one we're going to learn is home base. So, this one is, again, going to be kind of hard to show you guys and kind of, help you guys to visualize on video, but it is something that's important. It's something that we will definitely hit in our units like tennis or pickleball or even badminton, but it's important in volleyball as well. So, home base, all that means is there's a spot on the court that you're supposed to be in, and after you move from it, you want to get back to it. So in volleyball, let's talk about 6v6 real quick. You're going to have 6 people on the court on your side, so 3 in the front row, 3 on the back row. Let's say right now I'm in the back row. So if that ball comes to me, and maybe it's kind of going over my head, but it's not going to go out of bounds, I've got to back up out of my spot, so my spot is right here. I've got to back up out of my spot, hit that ball, or set it, or get it to somebody else. But then after that, I don't just stand, where I am now. I've got to get back to my home base, because if that spot is empty, that other team can hit it there. So all that looks like is, pretend that ball is coming to my side. So that ball's coming, I'm gonna get over, hit it, and then I'm gonna come back to my home base, just like that. That's all it is. So let me show you guys again. That ball is coming to my side. Pretend like it is coming, I'm about to hit it. I'm gonna scoot over, hit, and then I'm gonna quickly come back to my home base, because again, if I don't get back here, that team can hit it right here, and it's their point, because I'm not where I'm supposed to be. So that's all that returning to home base is. So another kind of skill and strategy in volleyball that is essential is communication. You want to make sure that you're always talking. So again, this is going to be one that's hard to show you with nobody else in here, but I do have somebody who can help me. Guys, this is my friend, Cone. Say hey. But we're going to kind of show you what that communication should look like and what can happen if you don't have good communication. And not only a game of volleyball, but this is relative to every sport. So volleyball specifically, let's say that ball is coming to us and it's in a weird place where it's kind of, I would be here because I'm on the back row, and then there would be somebody to my right and somebody to my left. Let's say that this ball is coming down and it's kind of in between us. We have got to communicate and talk and say, I got it, or me, whatever that may be, so that person knows that I'm getting the ball and they need to stay over there. The reason that's so important is because if we don't communicate, that ball's coming and we both go to hit it, what's going to happen? We're going to run into each other, we're probably going to miss the ball, or we're both going to get a piece of it and it's not going to go where it needs to go so we can win that point. That's why it's so important for that communication. Again, that's why you got to make sure you use that communication when you're talking. If that ball's coming in between us, I'm going to go, me, and then boom, make my hit. So let me show you again. That ball's coming, I got it. And I'm going to make that hit. That just keeps them over there, and it allows me to get the ball. That's why it's important to use communication and listen in volleyball, because again, if we're both going for it, we're either both going to hit it, and it's not going to go where it needs to go. We're going to run into each other, and somebody's going to get hurt, or we're both going to completely miss it. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to look up and see him coming, he's going to look up and see me coming, and what are we going to do? We're both going to stop. So again, that's why it's important to use that communication. That ball's coming between us, me, and boom, make that hit. So that's what communication is in volleyball. There's a lot more that you could use. You could tell, your teammates, I'm setting the ball to you, or, setting up for a spike, or, whatever else you need to say to make sure your teammates know what's about to happen. Because we want to make sure that our team knows what's happening so that we can have an advantage. So now let's move on to kind of that 6v6. All right, guys. So now we're going to look at the game as it is played kind of competitively or maybe in like a YMCA, or if you have a lot of friends who, maybe you're in a league or a tournament or whatever that may be. But this is going to be 6v6. So again, you guys see, right now I've got 5 people on the court. I would be number 6, but they have the blue hats on. So you guys see those little stand things again, but they've got the blue hats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 3 in the back row, and then now you've got 3 in the front row. So hopefully you guys can see me right here. So this is our position on the court. You see they're kind of in the back. They're near that out of bounds line back there for the volleyball court, so that they can come up and hit the ball if they need to. With basically any sport where you got to hit a ball like that, it is so much easier to come up to a ball instead of trying to track backwards and hit a ball. So that's why they're playing a little bit farther back off the line, or off the front row. But this is what our position would be. So again, remember, on the front row up here, this is our net right here, this is where it would be. Me and these other people, they're responsible for spiking or for blocking. Those people back there are more responsible for hitting the ball and getting it to the setter so that they can set the ball to us and we can spike. They in the back row cannot come up here and spike or block the ball. That is a fault. Only we can do that. And you see this red line right here with my foot. That is kind of where that line is. They can come past this line, but they cannot come up here and spike. That would be a fault. So that's kind of what that 6v6 would look like. I know it's hard to understand with just this, but this is all we got. I am going to give you kind of an idea of that rotation. So let's say that they just served us, so they were on, it was their point, they served to us, and then we end up scoring. So the ball hits the ground on their side. Now, since it's our serve, we have to rotate. So, and again, we're going to rotate clockwise. So that means I'm going to go right here to the middle. Boom. This person right here, who's in the back row on the left side, they are going to come up front where I was. Just like that. This person in the middle is going to come up, or go to their left, where that person was. Now this person on the right side is going to go to the middle. Up front now, this person on the right side will go backwards. Just like this. And then the person whose spot I'm going to take is going to go to their right. Still on the front row. And now again, I will be in the middle. And the person who would be serving would be this middle person in the back right here. So yeah, that's kind of what that rotation looks like. Hopefully you got maybe not a great picture of it, but a decent picture of what it would look like in a game of 6v6 volleyball. Now, let's look at 2v2. Alright guys, so this is kind of what our 2v2 situation would look like. Again, it's still the same size court. The size of that doesn't change. And our net is still up here. You guys can see this white thing. That represents our net. But just look at our position. So, this person is on the left right here, and I'm going to be on the right kind of with them. Now, I can stagger a little bit where I'm more behind, and they're more up, or we could be right side by side. So 2v2 is kind of tough because you got all of this court to cover, but it's the same over there as well. So the different kind of mindsets you could have is one like the staggering. So this person could be, not move much, but up a little bit and to the left, maybe move more towards the middle. And I'm going to be staggered and in the back a little bit. So what that allows us to do is obviously if the ball is shorter coming over the net, he's going to try to get it, whether he's got to come over to the right or go, more that way. And then if the ball is longer and it comes to the back, that's going to be on me. So now I've got to move wherever I need to. And then of course, like we talked about earlier, get back to my home base. Home base is very, very important in 2v2 because you don't have 5 other people to, get you back. You got 1, and they're covering half the court. So that's why home base is so important, especially in 2v2. Let's say that ball, let's say I'm here, we're staggering. So I'm here, and that ball is coming over long to my left. Again, like we said a second ago, he doesn't want to back up and try to hit that ball like that because that's tougher to do. It's easier for me, even though I've got to travel longer, to go to my left, make that hit, and then get back over here. It's so much easier to do that than it would be for him to go back and try to hit it. So that's why it's so important to get back to home base. Again, just kind of give you an idea. That ball's coming over and it's in the back. I'm going to go over to my left, make that hit, make that set, whatever it may be to get it to him or to get it over the net, and then I'm going straight back to where I'm supposed to be. So rotation for this is not going to be the same as 6v6. Like we said in our kind of logistics of how the game is played, PowerPoint, you know, you rotate in serves, but you don't really rotate position on the court. You can, so we could switch where I come here and then he goes back here. We could do that whenever it's our point, but that's, you know, really up to you and to the rules that you guys make for this game. Again, our service and our serving is going to be, that is going to rotate. So let's say right now, let me get this ball right here. Let's say that the ball comes over, we hit it back, and we score a point. So now, since he's over there, it'll be his turn to serve. Let's say he serves a few times, and then they win a point, they would rotate, and it comes back. Now, since it came back, and it's our point again, it would be my turn to serve, and I would just do that and go about it. So yeah, that is what 2v2 volleyball would look like. All right, guys, so that's all I got for our volleyball unit. You know, if you're online, I hope that these videos are helping you and kind of giving you ideas of ways that you can practice skills and strategies without having to have equipment or having to have partners to do that, just so you have an idea of what it might look like and what you can do. So you don't, you know, if you ever do go play volleyball somewhere, you don't go in blind. But yeah, that's all I got. Again, we've looked at our forearm pass, we've looked at our set, and we've looked at our different serves. We've also looked at the spike and the block. And then today, of course, we looked at returning to home base, communication. We've looked at 6v6, 2v2, and we kind of talked about that front row and that back row, as well as the rotations. So this video was a little bit loaded, but that's all I got for you guys. If you want to use these videos to kind of go over, you know, the different skills, they'll be up here on YouTube, so you can do that. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. You guys have a good rest of the day.